piece is called Promised Land. Prelude. 1. It is not soaked as bread in milk and honey. It is not golden or ridden with camels. It is not fertile. It would not bloom. 2. The settlers did not catch miracles, only malaria. The land was not theirs to take. Eucalyptus never grew in the dunes. Its seeds drink the swamp, the one whose ghost I no longer know. The state of Israel is seated on a portion of land in the Middle East, known from 1920 to 1948 as Palestine, that is also a holy land for a number of religions, among them Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Druze, and Baha'i faith. A representative democracy with a parliamentary system of government, modern Israel is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, the Gulf of Aqaba, and the West Bank and Gaza Strip, both Palestinian territories. New York Times. The Palestinian people, Arabic, Ashab al-Falastini, also referred to as Palestinians, Arabic al-Falastiniun, Hebrew, Palestini, are an ethnic group comprising the modern descendants of the peoples who have lived in Palestine over the centuries, and who today are largely culturally and linguistically Arab due to Arabization of the region. Cherries. We were rafting. Up near the borders of Jordan and Lebanon, the water gushed dark and cold from snowmelt. We stood watching Arabs across the fence pull a melon in a splintered stream. We ate black cherries from a roadside stand, each bite explosive and feral. Juice like blood trickled across lips and white teeth and chins, river rushing black behind us. Cherries glistened, obsidian in the blue sky sun, as roadside dust took clouds. My stomach still wobbled as if we were rafting. Struggles between Israel and its Arab neighbors over water rights in the Jordan River Basin contributed to tensions leading to the 1967 Middle East War. Isabel Kirshner, New York Times. The Arab-Israeli dispute is a conflict about land, and maybe just as crucially, the water which flows through that land. Martin Asser, BBC News. Ode for the Water. A plane's wings tipped with frost in high places always signal the downing of seagulls. Small colors on blinding white beaches, dusty farmland. It's a miracle anything still grows, we say, because there's no water any longer. No water. What we call a river now is 4 feet of mud that poisoned athletes when they fell, sludge that swallowed the body of Rose, a French girl hit with some hard, unsearchable love. No water. We grow thirsty, and so we grew hungry. For the blood of enemies, when they fight for their lives, so we throw rockets, they throw rockets. Who is the bad guy anymore? No water. All our holy places are going dry, even our throats, even our bodies. We feed our livestock before we feed ourselves. No water. We love this land, something visceral, beyond grasp, beyond the hate that spurts from our eyes and ears. No water. Curse the territories, they were never ours. No water. This land is mine, this land is mine, this land is mine, no water. The seas are warming too, the salt warming our bodies, the tides dragging soft Nile silt that was never ours. No water. Maybe that is why we speak cracked and broken, cutting black, because we know it will never last, never ours. No water. Our stars fizzle above a game of beach volleyball, beyond a crescent, before the barricade of hotels on the beachfront. No water. But there is water in the air, so much water it suffocates us, but not our fires. No water. By the beach, there is one part filled with archaeology like the rest of this country, this dry country bordered with sea. No water. By the sea, by the river, all that grows is a sour yellow chamtzitz. Oxalis is the word in your language. No water, you see, we have no water. We have raw tongues from translating. We have bitter bones from fighting. The summers get hotter, the winters get drier, the sea still rises against us. No water. Please, we're dying. We're draining from this country to places where the cycle will start again. Where will we go if not here? Where can we go if not here? No water. We will spill our blood if not here. Blood, water, hate, it is all the same. There is no water. No water. At Israel's northwestern tip, at the only point where the sea meets the cliffs, is where you will find the enchanting tourist site of Rosh Hashanah. The walking path in the heart of the cliff exposes visitors to the grottos, which, more simply put, are sea caves. The grottos were formed in the wake of underground shocks that ripped open gaps within the bedrock. Slowly, rainwater penetrated these rifts, forming tunnels and caves that continued to expand due to the waves that slammed against the rock. Rosh Hanikra tourist site. The Rosh Hanikra crossing, Hebrew, Ma'avar Rosh Hanikra, known in Lebanon and to the United Nations as Ras Al Nakura Crossing, is an international border crossing between Nakura, Lebanon, and Rosh Hanikra, Israel. The terminal is operated solely by the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon and IDF, and does not allow for the passage of regular tourists or visitors. Mikra, noun feminine, grotto, crevice. In the ancient cliffs past Akko, fossils of old seas beat still under chalk. Pools curl into bowels of rock, and steep cars drip sliding down their cables, hanging by a thread. Cliffs pockmarked with caves, so many eyes, even the boulders are watching us. So many blinking lenses mounted on barbed wire fences. The wall says we are closer here to Beirut than Jerusalem. I've never been so close to a border before, 3 steps or a gunshot away. Surveillance feels noisy, feels like static for thoughts, feels like ghosts of railroad tracks that ran here once upon a time, drilled through the cliffs. Another eye, another piece missing, another scrap of land chopped through and moved. IDF mission: to defend the existence, territorial integrity, and sovereignty of the State of Israel. Protect the inhabitants of Israel and to combat all forms of terrorism which threaten the daily life. Doctrine of the Israel Defense Forces. In many respects, one can dub military service in Israel a more physically rigorous social and educational rite of passage, akin to college or university elsewhere in the world. Mahal IDF Volunteers website. According to Israel's defense law, service in the IDF is obligatory. Every Israeli citizen, including those born abroad, must establish their army status at the age of 17. Upon entering Israel, every citizen above the age of 17 is required to show proof of his or her military status. Website of the Consulate General of Israel in Montreal. Papers. Bulletproof glass and rough voices, almost like security in the Tel Aviv airport. This consulate microcosm, secure and unbreakable, they say, when bored young women man the windows and clip the corners of passports to mark them void. We know that flights are expensive, but so are bar mitzvahs. Tutor exchanges ring like laughter, ring like next, ring like Hebrew. I feel wrong to speak in this building where outside sounds of those words are a brand of evil, of Uzi, of Kippah. But I am floating and the window asks me, what am I here for? And my voice hangs lower an inch. I say, Yishul Tzava. My papers for army. For days I will hum my low innocence to a green-dressed young girl whose Israeli eyes ask me why. Why me, not you? I serve, not you. My blood, not yours. I am here for my no army papers, peace papers, stay off my hands paper cuts, and let me come home to a paper from the Consulate General. Let me leave the micro-country whose doors lock like bank vaults, whose windows are one-way mirrors, and every year they will ask to see my papers. Why don't you serve? Why me, not you? Why my blood, not yours? Palestinians are fighting for their lives. Israel is fighting for the occupation. For the foreseeable future, Israelis and Palestinians will operate now in the narrow space that exists between a two-state solution too important still to abandon, and one that's just too hard to implement. And as they do, tragically, violence rather than diplomacy is likely to remain an all too familiar companion. Aaron David Miller, Foreign Policy. Where are we going and what will we say? Looking at phantom jellyfish, I see moons tranquilizing warm seas. Downhill, a trail of sour oxalis lingers, raw-tongued, bitter-boned like my people. If eyes can forgive, our stars are blind. For now we are sun-bleached and acrid water, rising and eroding the copper of our blood. Creation was freedom from chaos. We are still waiting, pleading, let there be light. Palestinian girl with knife killed by Israeli guard, police say. New York Times, January 23rd, 2016. Tel Aviv shooting, 2 dead, Israeli police say. BBC, January 2nd, 2016. Israeli mother of 6 murdered by terrorists in her home with kids nearby. Jerusalem Post, January 17th, 2016. Category, terrorist incidents in Israel by year. This category has the following 13 subcategories out of 13 total. Wikipedia. Since the start of October, Israeli forces have killed at least 149 Palestinians, 95 of them assailants according to authorities. Most of the others have died in violent protests. Almost daily stabbings, shootings, and car ramming attacks by Palestinians have killed 25 Israelis and a U.S. citizen. Huffington Post, January 23rd, 2016. Epilogue. 3. It is. A land of bitter truths and green-gray scrub. It is a land of olive trees, and just so dry it rises at a footprint. It is a land of wrath and fire, hot enough to crack resolve, but not to melt its bullets. 4. Would that I could take its promises and build a land of heathens. Then at least God's spirit would not lurk in the empty halls of buildings. Then at least you would not ogle this trophy of trophies. Then at least you would look and not see, leaving wars to rage on in peace. Then perhaps the fire would soften and bullets would freeze.